Welcome to lesson 4 of the lecture Experience Design. In the previous lessons, we defined the term experience and we investigated various factors that influence the quality of an experience. Also, we looked at an economic evolution that made experience design increasingly relevant. And also we looked at the roots of experience design and how it can be distinguished from user experience design. In lesson 4, we will look into aspects how to design for experiences. As we learned, experience design is a human-centered approach, which is not only applied to products, but is also implemented to services, to events and other environments where we try to evoke emotions, thoughts and memories. And as we've already learned also in lesson 2, this has become increasingly important for creating economic value in the context of an experience economy. So we have created quite a bit of background knowledge now, and it's about time to look into the design process of designing experiences. One of the major questions that occurs immediately is it actually possible to design an experience? And as you might know from your own experience, the same experience might not trigger the same reactions in different people. So just think about an obvious example like speed or height. Look at this example. Some of you might be delighted to skydive. Others might be shivering of fear by the sheer thought of jumping out of a plane. So what does it mean for experience design? It means that an experience is unique to every individual and that it is actually influenced by a multitude of different and often unpredictable factors. So the answer to the question, is it actually possible to design an experience, has to be no. An experience cannot be designed. Yet, what we can do is we can facilitate an experience, which means we can create an environment to foster certain experiences to happen. So how do we start this process? First, we need to analyze the moments of engagement with a service, event or environment. We need to identify the so-called touch points in order to maximize every aspect of an experience. A touch point can have various forms. It can be in form of a website where you try to find information. It could be in form of a telephone helpline where you seek assistance. Or it could be even a hotel reception where you are welcomed. As you can see, touch points are the points of contact with a brand, a product or a service. Furthermore, we need to analyze the time span of an experience. Let's look into that. We have already learned that an experience consists of many experiences. And interestingly, the experience starts already before we are actually experience an experience, because we can imagine the experience beforehand. Then there's the actual experience itself. Right after that, we reflect on the experience. And after that, over time, sometimes over a couple of weeks or months even, we recollect the experience. This, of course, depends on the level of significance and meaning of this particular experience. Let's look at an example. Let's explore the experience of going to a fun fair and going onto a roller coaster ride. One could assume that the company who designed the roller coaster has probably made a big effort to make this ride as enjoyable as possible by creating a great design for the roller coaster, or maybe adding colorful lights or even sound. So therefore one could assume that this roller coaster ride would be fun for all of us. Yet, how much fun you will have depends on many factors. Like your emotional state, for example, at this particular moment, or whether you had any fears in the past going onto a roller coaster ride, or whether you feel that it's not exciting at all. So this shows that designing the product itself, in this case the roller coaster itself, is different to designing the experience of going onto a ride of a roller coaster. So why is that different? Let's look at the time span of this experience. Just imagine that going to a fun fair is usually planned ahead, which means you have started to consider either going there or not going there, maybe by evaluating your previous experiences. Furthermore, you might have seen advertisements or messages from your social media channels, or maybe from your friends and family. This example should make clear that your expectations and your imagining the experience is part of the experience itself. So you could have fun already planning the experience by already imagining it. Then certainly there's the actual experience itself, being on this roller coaster ride with all its excitements. And then right afterwards, another part of the experience unfolds when you start to reflect on the actual ride. You could imagine talking about it with your friends and remember vividly what just happened. You also might add other people's experiences to your own one by exchanging different viewpoints. And last but not least, the experience continues to exist in your memory. You might continue to enjoy the memories by looking at pictures you made during the event. And you might even enjoy those pictures together with your friends and family. Those experiences add to the overall quality of the experience because you extend the experience by reflecting multiple times your own experience. And as we now know, the experience you had and your memories will be unique. They differ from your friends' experiences and other people's memories. At this point, I would like to mention the findings of Mark Hassenzahl again. He believes that we experience in stories, and that building our personal story around an experience is one of the key factors to memorize an event. In our example of the fun fair, you have basically built your own experience, your own story around this experience. Let's look at some further factors. When designing for experience, we need to deeply understand the motivation and behavior of people we want to engage. And it's highly important to undertake relevant research and observations and to invite people from the target group even to participate in the design process. It is necessary to develop the design iteratively by testing and improving the design continuously in order to create profound insights and to improve the design. Again, we need to position humans as a central concern in the design process and not technology. Let's sum up what we've learned so far. Experience design is the discipline of planning, designing and implementing rich experiences which are intended to encourage emotional responses and to trigger specific behaviors with the overall aim to leave a lasting impression. Furthermore, experience design looks at people holistically. And coming back to the experience design fact that we cannot design the actual experience, but we can facilitate an experience and can orchestrate memorable events. When facilitating experiences, it is necessary to look for knowledge way beyond design, in particular behavioral sciences, to get a better understanding about human behavior and human needs. An experience consists also of many experiences and has a time span with a beginning and an end. And it is usually 4 phases. It's the anticipation of an event, it's the actual event, it's the afterwards the reflection of an event, and then later on the recollection of this event. Considering all those 4 phases in the design process can help to make an experience more significant. An experience also lasts longer and becomes more meaningful when we are able to construct our own story around it, and even better when we share it with others. And don't forget the economic aspects. Successful experiences have become a significant factor in the economic value creation for brands by truly engaging with customers and providing really relevant experiences. In societies with a very high standard of living, where basic needs are already met, experiences have become a major differentiator when customers choose their products or services. And furthermore, we understand that experience design draws from a multitude of diverse resources. Experience design requires a unique way of thinking that incorporates knowledge from diverse scientific fields. Yet it also needs deep empathy, it needs analytical discipline, it needs creativity and lateral thinking, and it needs multidisciplinary teamwork skills in order to consider every single aspect of an experience. This design process can also be found in the design thinking methodology, which is also a human-centered approach, which combines creativity with structured methods in order to develop innovation that truly engages people and leaves a lasting impression. I hope you have enjoyed this lecture about experience design. Please read the recommended literature if you wish to continue your studies about this exciting field of experience design. Thank you very much for your attention.